I'm here with St. Mary's tennis coach Jeff Halberg. Coach, it's hard to believe, but this Saturday you guys open up your tennis season, and it's still January. So congratulations on getting the season started. Let's talk a little bit about your expectations, just in general, in terms of it's obviously early in the season, and really it's a long tennis season for you guys.
It is. It is. Yeah, the players, especially the freshmen, really have to kind of get used to that because high school season is at least 5 weeks shorter than a college season. And so the freshmen sometimes kind of hit that point where the normal season ends for them, and they're like, the meat of the season is really ahead of them. Probably half the matches are still coming, and so it's a little bit of adjustment for them. But usually, they get around to it, and eventually they can enjoy it for all the tennis they get to play. So
early on in the year, it's kind of, the season is kind of spread out. January, February, you play maybe a match a week. You might throw in a weekend where you get a couple of matches, but then all of a sudden you get into March, April, and May, and the season really compacts.
Yeah.
Is it a good time early on in the season for the athletes just to kind of get their feet wet, so to speak?
Yeah, it's nice that we don't have too much of a glut of matches early, because you can kind of work things out early in the season, kind of see some of the things you need to work on, be able to then attack that, get some more practice time in to adjust some things, and then, kind of go from there once the season really hits that point where, you're only practicing maybe a couple times a week and you're playing the rest of the time. So
let's talk on the women's side. Obviously, you're returning two outstanding now sophomores who had fantastic freshman years in Rebecca Snyder and Bailey Edwards. Obviously, they've got a lot to build on, but are coming off some very good freshman years.
Yeah, they really are, and it's. I know that both of them. One of the things you usually find with the freshmen is, as well as they did last year, freshman year is usually a learning experience, and I think for them it was. As well, they had some things they basically just had to get used to, and I can tell from on both sides that they're feeling more confident stepping into their sophomore year because they know what they're facing now. It's not such unknown territory to them, and so I think they're feeling it, and honestly you can see it in their leadership too. It's just a little better step up there too.
Obviously you look at those two, and coming into the last year, you've got them playing number 1 and number 2 singles. That spot usually reserved for for upperclassmen. Obviously they stepped in very well. Rebecca unbeaten at number 2 singles. What are your expectations? What are their expectations of this season?
Well, I think they just want to take a step ahead as a team. Though we did graduate a few players, fortunately we've brought in, actually Bailey's sister Killian has come into the team, and we also had some excellent players that basically got some match time last year, but are able to step right in, and they're ready. I mean, there's really not going to be a lag time in that sense, so we're really feeling good about our the prospects for the season.
And on the guys' side, again, same thing. You've got some very talented returners. Let's talk about the returners you do have there. Obviously, led by Pavel, who's been around now for a couple of years, has kind of got his feet wet, and obviously probably the expectations high on him as well.
Yeah, they really are. Pavel is he's actually with all the credits he's come in with from Poland and stuff like that. This will probably actually be his final season for us, so it's kind of his senior year, and I know he wants to finish on a high note. We've also got a little bit better depth in the team this year between the returners and some good freshmen coming in that I think that we'll just be able to make a little more noise as a team. So it's an exciting year because they're all feeling like they can take a step forward and really challenge.
You don't always like to single out freshmen when you're looking forward to a season, but obviously Michael Lunka started his season very well at the ITA at Gustavus, winning a couple of matches there. Obviously a great addition to you guys.
Absolutely, Michael. And the nice thing with Michael is that he actually is a really complete player. You'll oftentimes come out of high school and you're either a very good singles player or a very good doubles player, but maybe you have some learning curve to do. His doubles game is actually spectacular. It's very, very good. In his singles game, though, like anybody, he's got some things to work on. It's already a very good game, and so he's already coming in with some good confidence level. So.
Looking at the teams now, obviously you talked about some expectations in the conference that you play in, the MIAC, a very tough tennis conference. What are your expectations? What are you looking for from the men and women in the conference race and above and beyond?
Well, to be honest with you, most of what we're looking for is consistency. Consistency in our intensity to go out and play hard in every match. There are no givens in this conference. It is honestly, it's probably the deepest I've ever seen it. based on men's and women's, and I've been doing this for 15 years. So that in that sense, we've just got to come out and be ready to play every day, because there's no given wins, but there's also no assumed losses, really. You've got to just go out and play at a high level. So it's really the consistency that we're trying to shoot for, try and establish early, so that we can get the results that I think we're capable of.
Sounds good. January 30th, Saturday, you open up against Carleton. Good luck.
Thank you.